It's Sunday night. You're sitting in that expensive leather chair you bought to reward yourself for 40 years of grind. The house is quiet. Too quiet. You're staring at that screen, waiting for a name to pop up. Your son, your daughter, anyone. But the phone stays cold. Then you log on to Facebook. There she is, your ex-wife. She's at a restaurant, surrounded by the kids. They're laughing. They're checking in. They look whole. You sent the checks. You paid for the Ivy League tuition. You bought the first cars. So why does mom get the visits and you get blocked? Welcome to the 400% rule. It's a mathematical tragedy of the modern man. We work 400% harder to provide, while they work 400% harder to connect. You thought money was a bridge. You were wrong. It was a wall. And today, I'm going to tell you how you built it brick by brick, and why your children's silence is the loudest thing in the room. Listen close, because for some of you, the clock has already run out. For the rest, this might be your last warning. I remember the 80s, the hustle, the greed is good era. I was 40 then, in the prime of my life. I thought being a man meant one thing, bringing home the bacon. I worked 60 hours a week. I missed the baseball games. I missed the dance recitals. I told myself, I'm doing this for them. But if I'm being honest, I was doing it for my ego. Their mother was the one who wiped the tears. She was the one who knew the names of their teachers, their secret fears, their first heartbreaks. She was investing in emotional capital. I was just the ATM in a suit. I thought my authority was earned by the size of the house. I didn't realize that while I was building a kingdom, I was becoming a stranger in my own hallways. A friend of mine, Jim, he died last year, alone in a hospice. He had millions in his 401k. His kids, they sent flowers. They didn't come. Why? Because they didn't know him. They respected his money, sure, but they loved their mother's presence. That's the 400% rule. You can't buy back the 20 years you spent at the office with a Rolex or a college fund. I used to brag about my sacrifice. Now, looking at my empty call log, I realize it wasn't a sacrifice. It was an exchange, and I got the raw end of the deal. We were taught that a man's word is law. We were taught to be the pillar, strong, unmoving, silent. But here's the problem with pillars. They're cold, and they don't know how to hug back. You used authority to raise your kids. You thought if they feared your belt or your anger, you were winning. But fear has an expiration date. It ends the moment they move out and start paying their own bills. When the fear dies, what's left? If you didn't build intimacy, the answer is nothing. That's why mom gets the visits. She didn't lead with a checkbook. She led with her ears. You're offended that they blocked you? You blocked them first. You blocked their feelings because they were inconvenient for your career. You blocked their voice because you knew better. The 400% rule says for every dollar you earn for them, you lost 4 units of connection. You bought them a house, but you never made it a home where they felt safe to be weak. They don't want your inheritance, they wanted your presence. And now you're sitting on a mountain of stuff, wondering why it's so cold at the top. Your ego told you that being a provider was enough. Your ego lied to you. A bank provides. A father connects. So what do? Sit here and rot in your regret? No, that's for cowards. If you're still breathing, you still have a chance to pivot. But you have to burn your ego first. Step 1, own the debt. Don't call them to complain about why they don't visit. Call them to apologize for why you weren't there, even when you were in the same room. Admit you chose the 401k over their bedtime stories. Step 2, listen without fixing. When they finally talk, they might vent. They might be angry. Let them. Don't defend your sacrifice. Just listen. For the first time in your life, be a student of your children's hearts. Step 3, find common ground that isn't money. Don't offer to pay for their vacation. Offer to go fishing. Offer to help fix a leaky sink. Build a connection based on doing, not buying. Step 4, be consistent, not desperate. One call won't fix 20 years of neglect. You have to show up, week after week. Even if they don't answer, you're not buying them back. You're earning back a seat at their table. This isn't about being nice. It's about survival. Because a man without a tribe is just a ghost waiting for a grave. The ink on your will might be dry, but the ink on your legacy, that is still wet. You write it every time you pick up the phone. Don't let your tombstone read, "He worked hard." Let it read, "He came back." Be the father who came back from the office and never left their side again. The 400% rule only applies if you stay in the game of transactions. Step out of the market. Step into their lives. Call them. Not tomorrow, not on their birthday, tonight. Tell them you're proud of them. Tell them you love them, even if your voice shakes, especially if your voice shakes. I'm done talking. The rest is up to you. Make it count, old friend.